I've just finished watching Welcome to Derry episode 6, and while it gave us some truly beautiful moments with our core group, I have a chilling feeling the price for that warmth is going to be absolutely horrific. I'm going to break down all the devastating hints right now, but first, I want to take a moment to say thank you. I am genuinely so grateful for your incredible support. You guys are helping my channel grow and motivating me to keep improving my content. Thank you all so much. Let's jump into this nightmare. Episode 6 kicks off in Juniper Hill, that infamous asylum from the show's opening credits, where Lily was previously held. Right away, the show throws a massive clue at us. The year is 1935. This date is crucial because it falls squarely within Pennywise's 27-year awakening cycle, the period when the cosmic entity known as Galu is active. In this scene, we meet Ingrid Kersh, though we don't immediately know it's her. Ingrid accidentally overhears a patient named Mabel telling her doctor she saw a clown named Pennywise. Later, Ingrid takes Mabel to the spot where she was supposed to meet him. Initially, Ingrid seems genuinely terrified. She even tries to protect Mabel when Pennywise attacks the girl. However, by the end of the episode, we see Ingrid succumbing to Pennywise's manipulation when he wears her father's mask. This confirms that she isn't just a psychiatric nurse. She is, in fact, the grown-up daughter of Bob Gray. More details about Ingrid's past are revealed when Lily finds her way up to the attic of the Kersh house. Take a close look at the photograph of Ingrid and her father. The date on the photo, 1908. It's the same year we saw Francis Shaw visiting the traveling circus carnival, where a young Ingrid was dressed as the character Periwinkle. The costume and wig are still right there in the attic. It strongly suggests something terrible happened to the real Bob Gray that year. It's not surprising why the monster chose Bob Gray. The teaser for episode 7 shows that the theatrical persona of Pennywise the dancing clown, which Bob Gray created, was popular with kids. Personally, I don't understand how it inspires trust because it looks absolutely nightmarish, especially when he dances. Although, have you seen the older Disney versions of Mickey and Minnie? Okay, point taken, question withdrawn. I think the subsequent moment confirms Bob Gray's death. Did you notice how Pennywise mocks Ingrid during the Juniper Hill scene when she calls him her father? She naively believes the real Bob Gray is still alive and needs her help to escape the monster's clutches. Pennywise is exploiting this. The unprocessed trauma of losing her father at the age of 8 is playing a cruel trick on Ingrid. Grief turns Ingrid into an accomplice. She starts actively helping Galu. Now let's talk about Ingrid and Hank. Their relationship appears to be a trap, not a lifeline. Ingrid was with Hank on the night of the tragedy at the cinema. It looks like she was distracting him so he wouldn't interfere. Ingrid deliberately left Hank in Derry. I'm also convinced she was the one who sent the anonymous tip to Bowers about Hank hiding in the black spot. Ingrid knows he's there because she planned his hiding spot with Charlotte in a previous episode. This entire setup feels like a huge preparation for the fire at the black spot, designed to attract Pennywise's attention. Ingrid continuously tried to provoke his appearance by wearing her old costume, but nothing worked. Ultimately, she decided to resort to extremes to see and, as she believes, free her father just one more time. You heard that right, Ingrid was the one in the yard with Will and in the cemetery photo. And I want to quickly touch on Lily. Ingrid is actively trying to lure her to her side. She invites Lily to go with her that evening to show her something. I doubt Ingrid wants to harm the girl. If she did, she would have at least taken the margarine from Lily's bracelet. Ingrid sees a reflection of herself in Lily, and of course a lifetime of loneliness has taken its toll. Ingrid deliberately brought up Lily's father, adding that in Derry, nobody truly dies forever. This suggests Ingrid is planning to ask Pennywise to show Lily her father. But Ingrid hasn't factored one thing in. Lily has begun to process her trauma, even though the visions from Pennywise still scare her. Speaking of Lily, what about her strange behavior after finding the meteorite dagger? This creeped me out because it suggests the artifact feeds on negative emotions. This makes chilling sense if it's a piece of Pennywise's cage. What if its cage was powered by his own dark energy? You also noticed how possessive Lily is, refusing to let anyone else touch the dagger. This led me to wonder, what if Lily is the chosen one? What if she is the only one who can truly wield it? This explains why it glowed and why she won't give it up. It's like the sword of Gryffindor from Harry Potter, appearing only before the worthy. Since this is a horror story, I suspect the artifact comes with a huge cost that we'll find out about later. Now for the sweet stuff. I was so touched by Marge and Richie's interaction. Against the backdrop of the gloomy, cursed town of Derry, where adults ignore or deny the evil, their connection is a genuine core of care. However, I have a horrible feeling something bad is going to happen to Richie. The hints are too obvious. Remember the scene where his paper airplane, which I think symbolizes his clean, childish spirit, untainted by Derry's horrors, flies right into the sewer where Pennywise lives. In this episode, Richie's character was practically revealed in full. In drama, this is often done to raise the emotional price of a future loss. I really hope I'm wrong. Besides that, I loved watching Ronnie and Will finally start to connect. I'm so happy for Ronnie. She desperately needs Will's support after the awful situation with her father. Speaking of Ronnie's father, his acquaintance with Will was quite endearing. Their dialogue had an interesting moment when he asked Will his favorite movie, and Will's answer was The War of the Worlds, about aliens landing on Earth. That felt like a clear hint at Galu's arrival from space. At that moment, I realized something big was about to happen. Then, our attention was deliberately shifted back to the black spot. What an incredible contrast to the atmosphere in Derry. It's devastating to realize that for the residents of the black spot, the fight against evil doesn't end when Pennywise falls asleep. They constantly face human cruelty and twisted morality. And just when I was completely dreading what the future held for this wonderful place, that future started hitting hard. The signs were everywhere. We saw Ingrid putting on her costume. It was hard not to notice Dick Halloran barely holding it together. And of course, the appearance of the masked men on the club's porch, led by Bowers. It astounds me how Bowers doesn't realize he's a victim of the very system he helped create. When he became useless, he was simply thrown away like a used napkin. Instead of learning from this, Bowers, who jailed an innocent man, plays the hero. Let's return to Dick Halloran. After Pennywise opened his fear box, Dick can now see the dead. He hasn't seen any dead people since he was 9 when his grandmother taught him the trick. He says that as long as he ignores them, they don't do anything, but if he opens his mouth, the voices will never stop. And right there, I realized how many possibilities this opens up, despite the horror. What if Dick could find the ghost of Bob Gray to finally prove to Ingrid how terribly wrong she is? I don't know if that can even help, as her trauma is so deep, but it's worth a try. Besides all this, Dick is finally showing more resistance to Shaw's ridiculous plan. I don't know how long it will last, but his confrontation with Leroy is genuinely satisfying. Leroy is getting too wrapped up in his duties. He is literally ready to sacrifice his family to the monster. Leroy even ignores the fact that children are suffering and could suffer even more if the military doesn't stop. How is he any better than Ingrid? In my opinion, they are currently on the same level. Judging by the trailer for episode 7, Leroy will finally find the courage to stand up to Shaw. However, I suspect the reason for this will be some kind of tragedy. I am deeply worried about Charlotte. I feel like a sad end awaits her. She constantly finds herself in dangerous situations. And overall, Charlotte is a very strong and kind character, something Derry can never forgive. So, who is your favorite character in Welcome to Derry? I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments. Also, I would be grateful if you liked this video and supported my channel with your subscription. It really helps me grow. See you soon!